Your stories need diversity. Diversity is brought to the public through a diversity of characters, environments, and storylines. You want all your kinds of character to be diverse, and therefore you want your antagonists to be diverse. The Nemesis will be one of the most prevalent form of antagonists through her relationship with the protagonist, with a secondary antagonist, and with the story. The Nemesis will be a main character. She can be your final antagonist, she can be your menace. The Nemesis' main way of expressing herself is to best the protagonist. At some point in your story, your Nemesis will need to best the protagonist. As the Nemesis is created to be a mirror of the protagonist, not necessarily in direct behavior, but in action sometime, or some other time in goals. She will have to adapt her own goals, her own motivation, to the goals and motivation of the protagonist. The Nemesis will often represent the worst part of your protagonist, or again, another antagonist. But she will be the worst part, the worst version, or the worst direction in which this character could have gone, or is about to become, and therefore she serves as an essential landmark for this protagonist. The Nemesis' goal is to own. She wants to own characters. She wants to own environments. She wants to own the world. She wants to own the story. She does not only want to own in a direct manner, because she has to express this balance of wants and needs through her direct relationships with her direct collaborators, her direct allies, her direct friends, and also her direct opponents and enemies. The Nemesis needs to own because she is, by the scale to which she will attain, because the Nemesis is a prevalent character. It is a character which has an incredible influence on the story, on the world. She will become, therefore, dependent on a large number of characters. Mostly, she will be dependent of the main character. She will be dependent of the protagonist, or the character that she is supposed to be the mirror of. And in this manner, because she is dependent on so many other characters, she has created so many relationships, she'll have to act accordingly. So the Nemesis is both powerful because of her properties, physical properties, real estate, but also the relationship she has created. And she is also weak because of this ownership, because of these properties, because of these relationships, because she has a lot to lose, contrary to the protagonist in most cases, which is on a journey to growing and has nothing. So that's another part of the mirror. In order to protect all her assets, in order to protect her to-be empire, the Nemesis has to defeat every kind of threat to her influence, to her power, to her position. And there will be multiple kind of threats, because in order to own so much, she must have created some form of opposition. She must have created some form of resent, voluntarily or involuntarily, towards other characters. The Nemesis' goal is to own. Now, which means will she use in order to own the story? She can make use of threat, and in most cases it is the simplest option. You may want to use alternative options. You may want to give your Nemesis another form of goal, a goal of not threatening other characters, of not hindering other characters. You may want to create a Nemesis which helps others for a more original option. The Nemesis may also use avoidance, because certain relationships will be undesirable for her. No, she'll have no interests in these relationships, so she can't try to get as far as possible of these relationships. And here, you've got a more pacific type of Nemesis, which does not threat, which does not oppose, which does not attack, but only gets away from problems and try to run her own business. She can make use of bribes, because bribes may be more efficient than threats, because bribe may give her at least temporary allies. And the most important tool, the most important aspect of the Nemesis is her sense of sustainability, her sense of long-term. So in order to avoid problems in the long run, she'll make use of her secrecy. The Nemesis is an incredibly discreet antagonist, so it's why most of the time she will fit the menace profile, because the menace is a hidden antagonist. She does not want to be visible, she does not want to be seen. Her secrecy is actually a strength to her, because this way she can avoid undesirable relationships and issues. If you've enjoyed this video, show us by liking it, so we'll produce more of that type of content. Also, if you've enjoyed it, this other piece of content may interest you.